Hi, Congregation Beth Am. It's Rabbi Rosenberg, of course, and I'm here to talk to you about this week's Torah portion, Parashat Tazria Mitzora. This portion deals a lot with various kinds of diseases, and a lot of them are skin diseases, boils and scaly problems and things like that. And for most of them, there are laws about what they have to do to heal themselves, and the priest has to be involved in seeing if they're really healed and then helping them ritually come back into the community. And for one of them, in Leviticus chapter 13, verse 23, it says that if the bright spot, the spot on their skin, if the bright spot remains stationary, not having spread, then it is still the scar of the inflammation. It's still the residue of the inflammation. Now, the Emet LaYaakov teaches that this isn't meant to be taken literally. This isn't actually talking about any medical condition. Instead, he says, we have to realize that the bright spot we're talking about is not a skin lesion. It's something good, actually. It's the bright spot inside of us. It's our own sense of spirituality, our own glowing holiness, if you will. And he says that if that bright spot hasn't spread, then it's the scar of the inflammation. It's the residue of something bad. In other words, he says, our spirituality has to keep moving. He says there are two types of religious people, two types of spiritual people. There are some who are always at a high spiritual level, and there are some who are in constant motion, moving from one level to another. And actually, it's the people who are constantly moving who are more reliable. The people who are always at the same level are actually not at the level they think they are, because they're in danger of being lowered mainly through the sense of rote repetition. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. If you're not moving ahead, you're moving back. And it's that constant motion that actually makes the spirituality real. We know more than we did a month or two ago, and more than most people did in the recent past, about the dangers of stagnation, about the dangers of going through the motions by rote. Most of us have been living in this strange reality where one day follows the next in a seemingly endless loop of the same thing day after day. There are all these jokes out there, and they're only half jokes, about not knowing what day it is, about how a day takes a year and a year a day, and on and on and on. And it's so easy to get caught in this endless cycle of monotony. And that is deadly for our spirituality. That's deadly for that higher sense of holiness, of grandeur, which is inside of us. And so we have to make sure that we're breaking out of it. Now, we don't have control over some things. We are going to spend tomorrow in the same physical place that we're spending today, at least most of us are. We're going to be able to walk in the same general areas outside that we walked yesterday. Again, that's true for most of us. But we don't have to do things in the same way. We have the ability to do the same thing, but in different ways. And sometimes all it takes is a decision to do so. If you take a walk every day, then take it again tomorrow, but take it a little bit differently. If you're always listening to music, then try listening to an inspirational podcast, or try listening to nothing at all. Just go outside and take it all in with no distractions. If you are eating at the same times in the same place that you're always eating, or maybe eating the same things, that's fine. But pay attention to it. Decide to have an appreciation for what we have. Everything that we do, even the things that we do constantly, we can do with a sense of renewal. We can do with a sense of exploration. And we can let ourselves be surprised by even the things that seem completely unsurprising. And it's through that willingness, through that commitment to see things anew and to experience things anew, that we might actually see and experience them as holy. So I hope everyone has a great day. I hope that the monotony is not getting to be too much. And I hope that even in the midst of all this sameness, we still find something special and sacred, new, every day.